they're mandated to work 12 hours. So my tour is now 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., given that, I get a relief to actually come in person to get to the destination. It's physically not possible at this moment. It's not permanent, my schedule, but for now, this is what it is. And I just made the motion to actually, it's a temporary thing for me. I just don't know when it's going to actually stop. But even a hybrid motion would be fine. And, whoever can come on remotely and then be there is fine with me. But the all in person right now is not going to work for me because I won't be able to make it in person. I don't want to be the one to put a damper on the council. That's it.
Thank you. I didn't realize I was muted. So I just wanted to comment that the reason that you cannot attend may, if the governor does not extend the ability for us to meet remotely after January 15th, then, we're going to be required to meet in person. So I understand what your position is because of your job, but if we're called to go back in person, then it's going to be a problem. So you're going to have to deal with it. We'll have to figure out how we can make it work. I know that we changed our hours. We usually meet from 7 o'clock on the first Wednesday of every month. And we, to accommodate you, we put it for 6:30 in the evening. So, if it doesn't pass, that we move on to remote meetings or to a hybrid meeting, it might be, just let us know if that's going to be a problem if we put the time back to 7 p.m. I just want you to know that the reason that you cannot attend is strictly something different from a COVID excuse or, anything, right?
Correct.
Okay. Does any other council member have any comments or concerns, or something they want to talk about on this issue?
So, hey, Joe, I want to talk about something.
Go ahead, Rashmi.
Yeah, not Carly. You almost told me Carly.
I looked at the K on Rashmi. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm absolutely fine being Carly. So I just want to ask you, what do you mean by COVID excuse? What is that? What are you trying to say? Her excuse is more valid than a COVID excuse. What are you trying to say?
No. So it was misunderstood. So the reason that we have the ability to meet remotely or hybrid is because of the COVID pandemic. The governor had placed had made a law that all in-person meetings would be, extended. The ability to not meet in person would be extended through January 15th of 2022. She did not extend that deadline. So the council has the opportunity to decide how it's going to meet, and they had the ability to meet either hybrid or remotely through January 15, 2022. If that extension is not granted, then we're going to have to go back after January 15th in person. So what I was explaining to Michelle was that, that reason for not meeting in person is strictly due to the COVID pandemic. And it seems like the reason that she cannot attend has nothing to do with COVID, but her work schedule.
Okay, I got it. So I have few things to say, because you all know that 4 months back, I asked for remote and I was totally hung dry. In fact, Anne Marie pointed it out and said, you are the only one who wanted remote, like totally booted me out in public. We could have just discussed it and left it alone. And then other people also made such a big deal about why remote. And our excuse was, we have to do in person because kids are going back in person. So that was our excuse. No, hold on, I have to say a few things. So kids are still going back to school, right? The school has not shut down, even with Omicron, it has not shut down. What is the reason for us going remote for 1 month. Now I'm trying to understand this. Is it because now we don't have a quorum? Now in this meeting, we are going to say remote one option, and then the second will be bring Sana on board if she gets voted in. So now we will have quorum, which means there will be 8 people on board. So it would not matter if Rashmi, Michelle, or 2 people does not attend, as long as this council has a quorum, it would not care if other people who are not able to make it through difficult times. Is that what basically, so this whole remote meeting is to make it to have quorum or not to have quorum? That's what it is, right? It has nothing to do with her not coming. It could have been her, it could have been Joseph, it could have been you, it could have been anybody.
So basically, when we decided to meet in person, we took up the vote back in, I forgot when it was, July, August. And we had a quorum decide that we were going to meet in person. I understand that you voted to go remote. I personally voted to go hybrid. And then I, considered my vote and said, okay, I'll go in person. But the message from the CEC at that time was like, look, if the kids are going in person, then we're going to make a statement that we're going to show up in person, right? We're going to make that statement. But I've always, at every meeting, entertained any changes to the way we operated. And it did not come up until last month when Michelle made the request. So, I mean,
Right.
that's why we have the special meeting this evening. Yes, in the past 2 meetings, we were not able to conduct business or make any vote because we did not have a quorum present at our in-person meeting. We also had Sana who came on, but we couldn't vote on her approval because we didn't have quorum at that in-person meeting. So maybe we should reconsider the way we operate, and that's why we have the special meeting this evening. But it's up to the council to decide. I did not make that decision. We all voted on it. And that's why we're here this evening to discuss if we want to change the way we operate so that we can get business done. Perhaps if we have a remote meeting or a hybrid meeting, we can have a quorum and we can make decisions.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I
I'm
had
sorry,
something
Mr.
else,
Cha.
but I think I'll wait because somebody else has
Sure.
hands raised. Sorry.
May I, Mr.
Go ahead,
President?
Mr. Cha.
Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy
I'm
New
glad
Year.
to see Rashmi is not in her pajamas, but that's beside the point. Now, I did some calculation, roughly a rough calculation. Unless we go hybrid or fully remote, we run the danger of not meeting quorum just about every time from now till June. But I didn't want to insult anybody. Everybody was all excited or hot. I didn't want to do that. I didn't, in Chinese, we say pour cold water on people. It's very important we either go hybrid or remote because we have a job to do. It's not about helping somebody whose work schedule changed or helping somebody who's afraid that he or she's going to catch the virus and that they wouldn't be able to take care of the family. It's about our collective ability to help the children in our district. Joe mentioned that nobody brought the remote or hybrid up before. Well, we never met quorums, so there's no point bringing it up. I think for the past 2 meetings we didn't. So it's important we put children's interest first, our personal issues second. We should figure out a way so we meet quorum every single time. It's not about excluding anybody. It's about including everybody. The more, the merrier, because we're supposed to have up to 9 or 11 council members, right? We still don't have the borough president appointees. So if we are able to beat quorum at least every time we have an opportunity to make decisions to help the children in this district. That's all. Oh, by the way, I looked some numbers from the schools. A school had 20 cases the first day. The second day had more than 400. So they were giving out test kit. The third day, they gave out 2,200 test kit. And today, they just stopped giving it out because if you look at the rules of exponential growth, everybody in that building was already exposed. So there's really no point selective to give it out, give it to everybody. I was told the school might start giving them out again, but that's a different issue. So we should think for us so that we can work together for the children. We're not hypocrites. by meeting remotely or hybrid while the children go to school. The mayor made it very clear their children who needs the hot meals, breakfast and lunch every day, they need to go to school. He wants city workers, he wants companies to open. If we close school, some parents may have to stay home and then they won't be able to go to work. I mean, there's hundreds of reasons why the school should be closed. There are probably hundreds of other reasons why the school should be open, but we're here to make a decision so that we meet quorum every time so that we can make decision to help them. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chow. And, that's part of the reason why we postponed yesterday's public meeting, because safety comes first, right? So if anybody feels that their safety is at risk,
Yeah.
we wouldn't want to interfere with that. And maybe that's a reason why we need to reconsider something that we took up for a vote back in September or whenever we took the vote, right? Things change, situations change, but we really wanted to get business done. There's no personal vindicta or, anything against any particular member. We're here all as individuals and as a group, and we want to get business done. So I think calling this special meeting was very important, and we need to make progress. So thank you for your comments, Mr. Chow. Anybody
Thank you.
else?
Joe, I was trying to say something. I think just wanted Joseph to go say it. So if I can get another few minutes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I really do appreciate, I mean, I'm all for remote or hybrid, as I said in the past, and I am all for that right now too. No matter what the reason behind it, I always think, and I stand by what I said, that things are changing and we have to work in an efficient way so we can always make quorum to do business. I just feel, but I have to say, as a mom and as a parent, I did feel that things are just targeted against me in this CEC council. And even up until last meeting, instead of thinking about how to be inclusive, Anne Marie brought up the subject about getting a work notice, a work note if you're saying you're at work and not able to meet it to come to public. And I'll tell you on the record, my job is not going to give me a work notice. And let's say if they do, if I force them to do, and if they dock me on my compensation, I can legally ask the CEC council to compensate for my loss. Because instead of, again, up until December, people were talking about how we can take more, how we can be more exclusive for people who are not able to make it, than to say, let's try to think about different ways to help so that we don't have to have only 6 people. Let's have all the people, like you just said, more the merrier, not just a minimum bare to pass judgment and to make quorum to have things. So I personally feel that we will go remote and we'll have 8 people. And then again, the other voices which do not form the norm and the tradition will be discounted. That's something that I feel very strongly about now. It was not like that before, but lately it became like this. So I will just say that on the record. If you guys we get in quorum and we pass, I don't know if the bylaws will allow us to pass, that's something FACE will tell us. And if we pass again a 6 vote, no matter what it is, we have to get work notice. And if I get docked for that work notice because I'm not able to get that, then I'm going to ask you guys to pay for that. I'm just letting you guys know so that it doesn't come on that level.
You're distracting from what the purpose of the special meeting is. This is not a special meeting. First of all, you have not been penalized for your non-attendance. It was an excusable absence. You did not appear the last month or the month before. You were not marked absent with an inexcused absence. Nobody has asked you to provide any letters of employment, but that's a different issue. That's not what we're here for this evening. We're here to operate as a CEC. We're not here to talk about other members. We're here to get business done because we were elected to this position to get business done for our community, and we want things to move. Fortunately or unfortunately, the council voted on in the past that we were going to meet in person, and that's how we voted on it. Now we're going to take the vote again, and hopefully that will change, so then you may be included in the decision-making of the council.
Okay, I appreciate that because
No
I
problem.
do.
Thank you for your comments. Thank you.
Thank you, yeah.
Anybody else have any comments or concerns?
Mhm.
Hi, Joe. Can you hear me?
Yes, who's that?
It's
I don't
Anne
see it.
Marie.
Oh,
Hi,
Anne
can
Marie,
you
go
see
ahead,
me?
yes.
Hi. So I just want to say I'm not going to address the direct attacks on my character or myself this evening, because that is, like you said, not what we're here for. I'll just leave that pettiness on the table for another time. However, I will state that vote that we had in September, I am one vote of 6 or 7. So this was a council vote, not an Anne Marie vote. So if anyone took it personal that the vote didn't go their way, it's not. I'm one vote of many. So the council went the way the council went, and that needs to be understood and not taken personal by anybody. Of course, I want the best for the CEC. That's why I joined it, just like everybody else. We're here tonight because we do need to move forward and we do need to find a way to have progress. I respect Michelle's request for this and her reason behind it. I do still stand by my initial take that if the kids are in school and educators are in school, I do stand next to them and say I will be in person as well. However, I see at this point, we are in such a dire situation as far as meeting quorum that we do need to find a different way to progress. It's not good to be always stuck at that 6 number. So even if we get Sana on this evening or at the next meeting, it still leaves us with such a tight number to meet quorum every single time when 6 people have to be guaranteed to get there. And that's all we have is 6 or 7 people. So definitely things have to go forward. And we need those 2 borough president appointees, and we need to get a full council in order to work efficiently. As far as our bylaws are in need of updating because they're outdated. There are many things on our bylaws that reflect absences, reflect other ways that meetings are conducted that need to be addressed. So my suggestions on what needs to be looked at is because we are all of that. My suggestion at the last meeting was I did not say anyone's name, but it is a suggestion of something that we need to address moving forward because these absences, whether excused or not, affect the council and how they run. And when they're running into 3 and 4 months in a row, it really is detrimental to efficiency and getting stuff done. So none of that is specific to anybody, just in general, because these situations are going to continue. COVID's not going away. The way that we are conducting business has to be flexible. It has to change. We realize that. That's what we're working towards. And our bylaws have to reflect those things as well. And us as council members also have to accept the limitations of our own schedules and our own beliefs. And if our beliefs start to come in the way or our whatever, or if Michelle, using Michelle as an example, if she doesn't mind, if Michelle finds that her work schedule is not going to change for the next 6 months or next 12 months or whatever, then the right thing to do would be to step back and say, I can't fulfill my duty as a council member. So that's a personal decision that we all have to look at and make. So, putting these things into the bylaws that, putting a cap so that maybe someone that thinks I'm just going to hold it for 8 months because there's 7 other people or 8 other people, it's really not fair. So there has to be a balance is basically what I'm saying. So it's nothing personal to anybody. That's the reasoning behind that. I'm here tonight because we will hopefully come to an agreement of how we're going to do our meetings that will have us being able to move forward and get our resolutions that we want to get done and do what we need to do. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Anne Marie. So look, the reason for this special meeting is to discuss and vote on the change in the mode of our operating. So this is part of the reasoning. We need to reason through this before we take the vote. And as your president, I don't want to exclude anyone from any opinion if they want to make any comments before we take this on to the vote. So I ask the council members who are present, other than Rashmi, Mr. Chow, and Anne Marie, is there anyone else that would like to comment before we take this on to vote? Okay, Wendy, are you trying to unmute yourself?
Yes, hi.
Okay,
Good
go ahead.
evening, everyone. Happy New Year. Hope everyone is safe and healthy.
Happy New Year.
I really like what Mr. Charles said. He pretty much said everything that I felt also. We're here for the children, and if going remote or hybrid will help us move forward, I am all for it. Yeah, but we all need to keep in mind, like you said, about the open meeting law that's coming up, January 15th. I mean, even though we may vote to go for remote tonight, come January 15th, there is the possibility that we all are required to go back in person. So that's everyone should keep that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Point well made. And I hope everybody understands whatever we decide this evening, if the extension on that public meeting law is not granted, then we're going to have to show up in person, and then we'll have to deal with, absences or not. But are there any other comments regarding the change in the method we operate as a council from our council members, other than those who've already commented?
Yeah, I can still comment. What if it gets extended? We continue to meet, and depending upon how we decide, let's say the state law does get extended to
So
whatever
if they
time.
extend the law, then we are able, and we vote on proceeding remotely, we will continue to operate remotely or hybrid, or however we determine.
Didn't they change that? Say that even if they change the law, it's up to CEC if they want to meet remote or in person. Didn't they have that clause in that?
No, we're a public body, so we are able to meet remotely only because of the law that was put out there by the governor. But that law is good through January 15th. And it is my understanding that there was no decision yet on whether or not that law will be extended. Something we're going to have to hear about in the next couple of days.
Okay, I don't know.
But if we're called to go back in person, then as a council, we cannot decide that we want to meet for the rest of the term remotely. That's not something we're going to have the ability to do. We're a public body. So we were elected to meet publicly.
Okay, I read it differently. I don't know if Juliana is here or not, but yeah, maybe you're right, but I don't know why I read it that they just changed the sub clause on that, saying that even if they ask us, even if they say that open meeting law, the closure that the amendment they have, it's gone, we can still continue to meet remote, because that whole thing, they gave more rights on the individual CEC. I thought that's what it changed. I mean, Juliana can correct me, but every time I talk to different people, I have a different information. So it's very confusing.
Well, if you have that information in writing, I'd ask that you provide it, and then we'll take it. But again, this is something that the council decides. It's not, the law could say what it wants. The way we decided as a council, we voted in September to meet in person. Most CECs do not meet in person, right? But we as a council took it upon ourselves to say, look, we're making a statement and we're going to show up in person. And we've operated since July that way. So now because we're not getting quorum and we have a call to change it, that's why we're here. Thank you, Rashmi. Anybody else? Hi, Juliana. I see you put your face up. You want to make a comment?
Thank you. Anne-Marie was trying to unmute me. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to confirm that, like what you said, Joe, that if the law doesn't get extended, we should hear from the legislature no later than the 12th. Like they should be making their decision either the 10th, 11th, or 12th. And then they should, like, if it isn't extended, then you will have to meet in person. There will still be, like, basically the open meeting law defaults back to the way it was prior to COVID. And like, there still will be the option for like teleconferencing if people publish their location. That's always been part of the open meeting law, just never really utilized before. But I just wanted to, like, those are the two options.
Thank you for clarifying. Okay, so if there are no other comments or questions from our CEC members, I'd like to take this on for vote. Anne-Marie, only because you're taking over for Carly as host or as administrator. this evening. So
Mhm.
I asked that you go through the list of council members, and why don't we start with the council members calling for what type of meeting they'd want, and then we'll see if we can trickle it down or narrow it, because we have three options. We could meet in person only as a council. We could meet remotely, solely remotely as a council, or we could have a hybrid situation. So those are the three options. I'd ask that you go through the list of council members and we
Mhm.
take down the options, and we'll try to narrow it down so we have some type of decision this evening.
Okay, give me just one moment.
Do you have the list of council members?
I do, thank you for being patient. Okay, so I'm starting off with which method they would like to vote on.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll start with you, Joe.
So I would prefer the hybrid method.
Joseph Chow? Your preferred method, you're muted.
You have to unmute yourself, Mr. Chow.
Oh, you went back to muted.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Remote.
Wing Yu?
Hybrid.
Sun Yi?
Hybrid.
Rashmi?
Remote.
Michelle?
Hybrid.
And myself, hybrid. That puts us at 5 for hybrid and 2 for complete remote.
Okay, in order to move forward, I'll just go, Mr. Chow, are you okay with that if I change my vote? Because otherwise I can't do the standstill again. It'll be back to
Well,
no quorum.
so one thing that we know for sure, the complete in-person option is off the table, which is progress, right? So, I mean, we can take the revote, we can revote on it, or we can have discussion hybrid versus remotely before we take the vote on again. It's up to you guys.
Can I ask a question before we say anything else? So
Mhm.
just to clarify, if Juliana can clarify, so under the open meetings law currently, you would not have to post your location right now if we were hybrid because you're covered under the open meetings law, correct? So if we're hybrid, it works for everybody, basically, doesn't it? Because you wouldn't have to post your location. You could attend remotely and be included, and those that can go in person can go in person, right? So it seems like hybrid is the happy medium for everybody at this point, unless they take away the extension. Right? Is that correct?
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Mhm.
What
May I? May I?
Mhm.
Go ahead, Mr. Chow.
I have no problem doing hybrid. I can
Understood.
vote hybrid.
Okay, so then do we have a full, if Rashmi and Mr. Chow both change their votes, we are a full
hybrid?
unanimous hybrid
Yeah.
until
I-
the extension.
So that's awesome. I just want to say one quick thing. What if we do hybrid, we choose a date and that day building is closed because of things that's happening?
Then we do remote.
We can't do that.
Yes, we can.
If the building is closed, that we're not allowed access to the building, then obviously we won't be able to appear in person, but we will still conduct the meetings remotely. The
Right.
meetings are going to happen whether all of us
But
show up
Juliana-
remotely or all of us show up in person, but
Yeah.
we have the hybrid situation. The public is always invited because we have arrangements where the public can come on remotely, but we as council members have the choice of either showing up in person or showing up remotely. And if the building shuts down, then we're gonna have to show up remotely and we're gonna still
it-
operate.
In addition, Joe, if I might add, from reviewing our bylaws recently, our bylaws, as far as our location goes, is if we're under the umbrella of a hybrid meeting and we're agreeing to remote or in person, as long as we're stating on our flyer that we are going to be 100% remote for that meeting, I believe that that would be okay. Correct, Juliana?
Yeah, especially under the chapter of the laws of 2021 that Governor
Right.
Hochul has put into effect, these are permissive. It's very permissive right now. So your voting was crucial for making restrictive decisions, but this is very permissive in allowing you the most flexibility. So yes,
Right.
that's correct.
Right. So what I'm saying to address what Mr. Chow said is that even if the building was open, if we decided that that particular meeting, we needed to be 100% remote, we can still do that as long as it's posted on our agenda.
Well, the public will always be invited to join in person if we do the hybrid option.
Right. But what I'm saying is that going with what Joe
If the
Chow
building
said is that,
closes down, then we're gonna have to notify the
Right.
public that the building is closed and we will be going strictly remote that evening.
right,
Yes.
but even if the building was open and for whatever reason, council members couldn't make it in person, we could opt to have our meeting 100% remote, even if the building was open under this umbrella of the law. That's the extension that Juliana referenced of 2021.
So I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I
Is
don't
that
think-
correct,
because, you know,
Juliana?
we have-
Because
Carly, she's gonna have to make arrangements to.
it
for
would
the
be
public to
Zoom. It would
present.
be a Zoom meeting. It would become fully remote.
No,
Is that-
Juliana, correct us, but I think if we choose hybrid, we can choose a remote hybrid based on council's unavailability. We will have to be in person unless a situation like a building closed down. So we physically cannot be, right?
So my understanding is that the way in which the state has this set up right now is to give you the maximum flexibility, to allow you to pivot to remote whenever you want. I think that that's the conversation I had with legal over the summer when we were talking about this first. However, I know that things have changed. I will send Jesse a message while we're speaking, while you're on this meeting. But I really think that the state wants you to be as flexible as possible.
When we were fully in person, we took away that option. The pivoting option was taken away because there was no hybrid option in our choosing to go 100% in person. But under a hybrid model, I believe that what Juliana is saying aligns with what I'm thinking from what I read as well, and from discussions over the summer regarding open meetings law and how it was interpreted. But we can get clarification on that. We're not facing that issue yet anyway.
I don't think we're there, but the progress that we've made is no member will be excluded if that
Right.
member is not coming in person, which is a
Mhm.
great thing, right?
Yeah. May I just say something? Can we just go ahead with the vote? Because you're looking
let's-
at maybe,
Let's
maybe
take,
just one.
I think it's gonna be unanimous, but let's,
Right.
Emery, just go through the vote so it's officially on the record, right?
Yeah, Joe DiBenedetto,
Hybrid,
Wing Yu,
Hybrid,
Joseph Chow,
hybrid,
Sung Lee,
Hybrid.
Rashmi Krishnov,
Hybrid.
Michelle Fredericks,
Hybrid.
Anne Marie Knable, hybrid. It's unanimous.
so it is unanimous that we will now operate our meetings under a hybrid option, which means that CEC members have the option of attending in person or attending remotely, and they will have full voting powers. And we can now move forward on making our resolutions and and conducting our business. So that's been decided. I'm not sure if Carly's still here. Emery, you'll just put that in the minutes.
I heard it.
And you heard, okay, so we're going to move forward on our agenda to get this meeting going. I know that we had invited Sania Tayeb to appear. She was interviewed at a prior special meeting. There is certain confusion whether or not we can vote on Sana this evening or whether we have to vote on her being approved at our official calendar meeting. But I don't see what harm we have in not taking the vote this evening, and we can reconfirm it at our calendar meeting. Is everyone okay with that here?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Sana, thank you for joining us. So we're gonna, unless anyone has any further questions for Sana, I would ask that we take on the vote on whether she's approved as being accepted onto our council. Anybody have questions? Okay, Anne Marie, can you go through the roll call?
Sure. So this is just to vote whether we're going to vote again to let her on?
Correct. We voted, we voting on approval of Sana Tayeb as joining us as a CEC, as our number 7th, right? Number 8th? What number are we?
8th.
As our 8th CEC member.
Okay, Joe DiBenedetto,
I say yes.
Wing Yu,
Yes.
Joseph Chow,
Absolutely, yes.
Sung Lee,
Yes.
Rashmi Krishnaraj,
Yes.
Michelle Frederick,
Yes.
Anne Marie Knable, yes. Unanimous.
Congratulations, Sana. You are now a joint member of our CEC. We look forward to working
Yay.
with you. And we thank you for your patience these past few months and welcome on board,
Finally.
finally.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm looking forward again. And Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you. We
you.
look forward to working with you as well. So that was another successful thing on our agenda. And finally, we have to reschedule our January meeting. We scheduled for yesterday. We didn't conduct it. We have business that we need to conduct for this month. We have to have our calendar meeting. We had SCA was invited to talk about the capital improvements. We need to submit our recommendations to SCA for the capital improvement projects in our district. I don't know, we need to talk about a date. I mean, I didn't want to schedule a date without consulting with the council members. Unfortunately, I am not able to attend next Wednesday, the 12th, or Thursday, the 13th. I would prefer Tuesday, the 11th, but I'm not sure if any other members are okay with that. So let's talk about the next calendar date. Does anybody have an objection to having the next calendar meeting for next Tuesday, January 11th
No,
at 7 p.m.?
I'm okay.
Do we have enough time to send notice out? for
Yeah,
general meeting?
We do. I believe we need to send 72-hour notice, correct?
Yes.
So we definitely have time to do that. Do we have everyone's consensus on next Tuesday as our next calendar meeting date?
That's fine with me.
Just a
Okay.
quick question, Joseph. So is that going to be in person or will that be remote?
So because we
Understand.
voted on operating
Hybrid.
hybridly, if you're able to attend in person, you're more than welcome to attend. You
Got it.
will get an invitation with a Zoom meeting. If you cannot attend, then you will be able to attend remotely. You'll be able to participate. You've always been able to participate, but you'll be able to vote at the next calendar meeting, which is very good.
Perfect. Perfect.
So you have the option.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. So therefore, if there's no objection, I'm going to call the next calendar meeting, which was the original January calendar meeting scheduled for yesterday, for Tuesday, January 11th at 7 p.m.
Wait, 7 p.m.?
Is that a problem?
We are changing it to from 6:30 to 7 now?
So because we changed the original date, I mean, I have no problem. If somebody wants to make it for 6:30, we can do it for
the
6:30.
council voted to change it last meeting.
We
seven.
did.
At 7 p.m.
We voted to
Yeah.
change it to 7.
I thought we didn't have quorum last meeting.
I
We
think
don't
it
need
was the
quorum.
meeting
It was an
before.
agreement. It didn't need a
So
vote.
it does
Wait,
not
what?
have to be by votes on the time. And the reason that we made it for 6:30, we never started at 6:30. We always started 6:45, 7 p.m. So that really wasn't working. Do you have any objection to starting at 7 o'clock, Rashmi? Would you rather start at 6:30?
Uh, I guess, I mean, either or, it's fine with me. Just needed to understand how it got changed from 6:30 to 7 p.m. If you are saying that the meetings did not start, which I did see, not 6:30 on the dot, it got pushed back to 7, then I guess it makes it better for 7.
It just wasn't working, and I don't think it's something that in our bylaws, we need to vote on the time of the meeting, other than the date.
Okay.
But I'll double check the bylaws, and if
If that
necessary.
is correct, Joe, I already checked.
Okay.
Okay.
So I can decide that the meeting, we can just decide without taking it to a vote that we're going to start at 7 o'clock rather than 6:30. Okay, so the next calendar meeting, Carly, if you're here, or Emery, you'll put a note for Carly that
Do-
she will notice the public that our January calendar meeting will be next Tuesday, January 11th at 7 p.m. Perfect. So we had a successful evening, guys. Everything worked out. Before I adjourn the meeting, are there any comments, any last closing discussions? So congratulations, Sana. Anne Marie or Carly, you'll just notify SCA, because we had a speaker that was, I think Ben Goodman was coming, that we're going to put it on till the next Tuesday. Superintendent, you're here. Thank you. Welcome for joining us. Do you have any objection? We'll see you next Tuesday.
Oh, there she is.
There I am. Hi,
You were
guys.
muted.
Everyone, Happy New Year. No, absolutely not. Happy to see all of you.
Perfect. So we'll see you all next Tuesday.
If there's any principals that still haven't sent in their SCA request, please do so before the 11th.
Yes, if there are any principals that are here, we've been asking the schools to submit their requests for capital improvements. We will have somebody from school construction come to our meeting to explain to us what capital improvements are. And then we can, at our business meeting, discuss the projects, and then we can fill out the form that needs to be provided to the to SCA. I believe we have until January 15th on that.
And Carly, just make sure that you put the permit in for next week, so that
I'm
we
already
have.
emailing John. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you, Carly. I thought you left. You here still?
Yeah, I thought I left too.
Okay, so if that's it, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Principal Leakey, I see you have your hand raised. I'll allow you to speak. Go ahead. Okay, I don't know if we can unmute you.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Oh,
Oh, hello.
There you go.
Thank you so much for letting me speak. I know normally you don't do that, and I try not to speak, but I just wanted to say that I had Amory visit my school, and it was such a lovely visit. And I just wanted to thank the CEC for arranging those. It was something very different, and it was so nice to have somebody in the building and to have that conversation, and for her to get to know PS 29. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
That was very nice. Thank you, Principal Leakey. Always nice.
Thank
Always a
you.
pleasure to see you.
Thank you. And hi, Emery.
Hi, thank you so much for that. It was a wonderful visit. I appreciate it.
Perfect. Okay, guys, so we'll see you all on next Tuesday. Okay? Have a
Good night,
wonderful
everyone.
week, everyone. Stay safe.
All right, see you everyone next Tuesday.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Have a good
Bye.
evening. Bye.